Hello, welcome to the Warrior's Way. My name is Arno Ilgner. The topic for today's lesson is called A Free Mind, and it's something that we dig into in our Free Mind course, which we have coming up in a couple of weeks. So I encourage you to check that out. So when we think about mental fitness training or being mentally fit, it requires having a free mind. Well, let's define what that means. The way we define having a free mind means that we have a mind that allows our attention to flow freely as the situation changes, and it's going to change, as we work toward our goal, like climbing up toward the goal of sending a route. Okay, that's how we define having a free mind. Makes sense. If you want to be mentally fit, you need to have your attention to shift as the tasks change and the demands of the situation change. So the opposite of that would be like having a mental prison. Like you have a mind that is resistive to change happening in a climb. And one way that this can manifest itself is if you create a lot of expectations about how you expect something to be, and then it ends up being different. You got your mental conception of reality conflicting with what reality actually is. And that kind of keeps your attention from being able to flow freely to whatever needs attention. So we can dig into what it means to have a free mind with a maps and territory kind of discussion. And it comes from Alfred Korzybski, who wrote Science and Sanity and some other things in the 1930s, where he talks about how we create these mental maps of real territories. So, in other words, the mind creates mental conceptions of the external world. In a rock climb, we're at a climbing stance and we're thinking about the difficulty and creating kind of mental conceptions of that. So let's think about this in the context of a rock climb, like an on-site situation. You're at a stance and you're looking up into the climb. Now, if you have a map to territory orientation, that means that you start with kind of your mind's images of what that situation is, and then you go to the territory and look for what's there. So in other words, you're going to be biasing the situation toward your mental conception of it instead of seeing what's objectively in front of you. If you're on something challenging and you're pumped and tired, then you're going to be creating a lot of limiting ways of thinking around difficulty. Oh, it's going to be too hard. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to fall off. So to create a free mind and to get more mental fitness, which really just means being able to use your attention better, you kind of reverse that. You have a territory to map orientation. So you first look into the territory, into the climb, gathering objective information. You're looking for the path of least resistance, the easiest way between where you are and where you want to go. Then you blend that with your own subjective past experience. So you've got this objective information that you just looked at. You've got this subjective past experiences, and you can draw out your strengths, like what strengths do I have that I can apply to this objective situation. And you're creating a plan. Now it's an on-site situation, so that means that when you engage, you need to be adaptable. You need to be flexible with that plan, because what you discover as you climb is going to be different, at least somewhat, than the plan that you created. Okay. So this territory to map orientation helps you develop mental fitness. It helps you create a free mind, defined as a mind that lets your attention flow freely as the situation changes toward your goal. you think about mental training, it has a lot to do with attention. In fact, that's your central theme, your central point of control and focus. What are you going to do with it? That helps create your mental fitness. So for applying this, whenever you get on a stance, on a climb, an on-site climb, do this sequence. Look into the territory first, look into that section of the rock first, get that objective information. Then number 2, see what kind of subjective past experiences you've had that you can blend with what you see in the objective part of the climb. So you can develop a plan, create a plan. And then number 3, when you go, set an intention to be adaptable, to be flexible with what you discover, to modify your plan. Don't get rigidly attached to the plan. Go into it knowing that you're going to need to change it. So this whole idea of having a free mind sounds kind of cool. Sounds like really important. So I encourage you to check it out in our Free Mind courses that are coming up in a couple of weeks. You can go to warriorsway.com, you can check out our books, go to the Find Training and Coaching page, and you can register for our courses there. We have a limited number of 5 per course that we can take for the group courses. All right, enjoy your lesson this week.